All right, Shalom Israel, just your fellow servant Ariah. And before we begin, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakwakwa. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone. Honor to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. And if you are a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American according to your father, once again, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American according to your father, you see, you are the biblical Israelites that are written of in the scriptures, not according to your skin color, not according to the languages that you are speaking, not according to the lands that you are dwelling in. But if your father or your father is a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, you're a biblical Israelite, and there is no one walking the earth that is mixed, you are what your father is, or you are what your father is, or your father's father. Okay? So as you can see, I have typed up in Google storms across the U.S. And you notice all these different storms that are hitting the U.S., but yet they're not really getting no airplay in the media. For everything is surrounding what? Everything is surrounding the World Cup. Everything is surrounding this 250 anniversary of this worthless place that you call America, which is Babylon the Great, the whore that rideth upon the beast. But yet, behind the scenes, Yahweh Shai is, it's working a miracle, man. Bringing destruction. You see? Bringing destruction. While you people out here sleep, man. Look at these headlines, man. Severe storms creep across the U.S. as intense heat plagues the coast. Yo, man, you got people dying over in the UK from the heat. Hell, you got weird weather patterns happening where it's raining and also raining down ice in the summer, man. In the summer. Yo, rain with ice. Just killing the roadways, killing the crops, and that's going down in the bread basket of America over there in the Midwest. So just as the scriptures state, these days are about to be dark and no light in them. You see? Matter of fact, let's go get that. And once again, this is just gonna be a little quick hitter, right? Because I'm about to head in and clock in. But just wanted to bring this out. And I've been trying to bring out my other videos, especially on my live, but man, it's taking forever to download these lives. So we'll see how that goes. But it's Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. This is what you about to have out here, man. And I ain't just talking about over here in Babylon the Great. We're talking about in the world, man. In the world. You finna have a bunch of people misplaced. A bunch of people out here with nowhere to go. Due to what? Due to all these storms, earthquakes, displacing people out of their homes, destroying their homes. Where are these people gonna go? Yeah, man, you about to have millions of people upon millions of people homeless. Yeah, man, hey, man, listen, man, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. It's gonna be like going from one trouble to the next trouble to the next trouble. Like you went from running from a lion, you ran into a bear. Ran from the bear, you end up going and running into a serpent. Yeah, trouble after trouble after trouble, man. From an economic issue, problem, disaster, to a homelessness problem, disaster. You see that? To a no crops, no food in the stores problem, disaster. And on and so forth, man. That's what it's finna be out here. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. Yeah, even very dark and no brightness in it. You see that? Real quick. Let's go to the Apocrypha, right? I mean, it's the beginning of sorrows out here, man. Y'all people still out here sleeping, playing. And y'all got the prophets. Y'all got us out here letting y'all know the times that you are living in. Letting you know what it is, and you still don't want to get it. Salakia. Still don't want to pay attention. Y'all still think everything is hee hee ha ha around here, man. Still thinking shit is smooth. That's why y'all are caught up in what? Caught up in folly, man. Instead of watching the World Cup with no understanding of what is truly going on. All right. And this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and this is going to be the last one. We're going to get up out of here. I got like 4 minutes. All right, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. This is what you're about to see, man. You're about to see a lot of people in sorrow. You're about to see a lot of people mourning. All right. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. That's what you're about to witness. You see? This is what you're about to witness. No PG-13, man. Straight rated R. You see? The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars. And the powers shall stand in fear. Yeah, it's going to get so crazy out here. The powers shall stand in fear. The keeper of the house shall stand in fear. Your elected officials, you're selected, because ain't none of these officials elected. These selected officials, they're about to stand in fear. Your prime minister, your presidents, your governors, your mayors, you see that? About to stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Yeah, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. You see that? That's what's going down, man. Tribulation period. That's what's happening. And real quick, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, right? Because what is that tribulation going to bring? We're going to find out. That tribulation going to bring this. This 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 18. And this is why it stated that the powers shall stand in fear. This is why, because this tribulation is going to bring upon these actions. The 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Yeah, because of you people's pride, you didn't want to listen to the prophets. You thought the prophets, we didn't know what we was talking about. You thought this book was a fairy tale book. Well, you about to understand and witness these prophecies come to life in your life, and it's finna jack everything up. Yeah, because of your pride, because you thought this was a fairy tale, you thought Yahweh Shai wasn't the true power in this earth. You thought that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans weren't the biblical Israelites. Yeah, these cities about to be troubled. Destruction is about to come. Sorrow, mourning, that's what you're witnessing. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And if the men are afraid, we ain't even got to speak about the woman and the child. You see that? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of what? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see that? Because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Yeah, you witnessing the tribulation. You seeing all these people are starting to be displaced out of their homes. Nowhere to go. Homes totally destroyed. And over here in America, don't forget, ain't no more FEMA. You see that? The states are supposed to take care of all the homes that are destroyed. So you know these people ain't finna get that payment. They ain't finna rebuild these homes. Half of these states are already broke. No money. So yeah, it's about to be a lot of displaced individuals. You're about to see a lot of people in great tribulation. And these storms are going to continue. And they're going to continue to wipe out these crops. And you're going to see the lack of bread. You see? And when that kick in, it say what? The cities shall be troubled, man. It's going to be anarchy, chaos, man. Shit hitting the fan. So with that, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakwak Wadash. Double honors to my elders, a great millstone. Honor to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. Shalom.